hoping it hits you in the head.
All right, guys, welcome back to Scene of Ours. All right, my name's Abel. Jeff, what's going on? How are you?
Chilling.
A few words, this guy. Edwin?
Yo. That's it.
2 words. Okay, all right. So we have, today's a very interesting episode because today we're going to pivot. The majority of our episodes have been discussing a lot of salsa, but we're going to have our first bachata guest. Yep. Right. You can clap it up for her. Do what you need to do. There's people in the background here for her, and we're going to talk about them too. All right? I'm sorry, Sky. Anyways. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the wonderful Cristal Amanda. Yeah. Woo!
Estamos aquí.
Are you ready?
I don't know. Let's do this.
Okay. How are you, first of all?
I'm good, and you?
I'm okay. We're in a good mood. Edwin, how are you feeling?
I'm good, man. I feel great.
Jeff?
No words.
I got a text that I have to answer.
That's not good. Cristal, how are you? How's everything going?
It's going well. Aquí
Melaza.
nerviosa because I don't know what to expect with you.
Huh?
Hazlo otra vez, Melaza. Dale.
Right?
Melaza.
That's how you do the routine, right? And you start with the footwork.
You got to jump. Melaza.
I can't jump right now. I'll probably fall.
Ay.
But so, you're our first inaugural bachata guest. I'm gonna confess something to you.
Oh, shit.
When we started dancing, this shit was not acceptable.
Bachata?
Yeah, that was not even a thought, right, Jeff? This was not even like, it wasn't even.
I'll tell you a story. I was dancing. I was traveling, and I stopped dancing for a little bit. So I took like a year off. I came back, and my next salsa gig was Hot Salsa Weekend in Sweden. That's an old event. It's been going on for years. It's still going on. So my director at the time, something happened. He forgot his passport. So he was like, oh, you're in. So, we had to fly. You can't keep everybody back. So he stayed back because he forgot his passport. He was like, you're in charge. And he goes, make sure you go to the social. And we go to the social. And it was empty. It was nobody there. Nobody.
No salsa people.
I went, and I believe I was with Maria and Danielle and Caesar. So we go to the social, it's empty, and they're like, yo, could we leave? I danced all night, but there was like literally nobody to dance with. And I go, let's go. I mean, there's nobody here. So we leave. We're walking down. We go downstairs. And it's like packed in the lobby. So I'm like, yo, why? How is the lobby packed and there's nobody here? So I see people walking and I follow them and I go to the bachata room. And the bachata room was fucking packed.
The lights were off, weren't they?
The lights were off.
It was sweaty in there, right? It was sweaty?
It was packed. It was the first time I had seen that, though.
Yeah, because
all my traveling time.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
And that's kind of when I knew. That was 2010. I was like, yo, there's a change happening.
Yeah.
Because that was the first time I had seen that. And the next day, both rooms were packed. But it was the first time, because usually the bachata room had 3 people in it. That's just how it was.
That wasn't a thing for us. That's a new thing. So on that note, what we're going to do is we're going to start our day off. We're going to toast to you, number one.
Thank you.
And to bachata. What are we drinking today, Cristal? What
We're
was your choice?
some Patron and Red Bull.
Delicious, guys. We're very excited about this. This smells like Mexico.
This smells like Cancun.
It's exactly what it smells like. So cheers to Cristal. Cheers to bachata and all the bachateros out there.
Cheers to Melaza.
Wow, it's horrible. All right. Ugh, my God. Nos vamos a emborrachar aquí hoy. So let me ask you a question.
It's going to be a rough day.
It's going to be a rough day for sure. I want to come back to the beginning of like how you started and how you got involved with all this.
You started as a salsera.
No.
You started as a bachatera from the beginning?
No.
See?
What were you?
She did folklorico.
Yes, I did. So at age 5, I started Puerto Rican folkloric dance. And actually, I danced with Kimberly Rivera when we were kids. And then I still do folkloric Puerto Rican dance, and I choreograph at like the Puerto Rican parade and the Macy's parade.
Can you? I'm ignorant. What music is it? Like bomba plena kind of thing?
So a lot of people say bomba y plena as one genre, and it's actually two.
Individual
It's
genres.
two.
Yeah.
And there's also seis, there's danza, and there's other styles as well. So I dance all of that.
Okay.
To this day, I still do it. And then from there, I saw my friends dancing flamenco, so I started dancing flamenco.
What year did you dance with Kimberly? Shout out to Kimberly.
She's in Chicago now, right?
Yeah. I want to say 94, 95.
Oh, shit.
Whoa.
I was like 6 years old, 5, 6 years old.
Okay.
You got some time in this.
You got some tea on the J.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
So-
Espérate.
So from there, I did.
You got more time than us.
I did flamenco at Ballet Hispanico, and I did ballet, jazz, modern dance. And I
Whoa.
went to high school for that as well. And then I got
Where'd
a
you go to high
bachelor's.
school?
I went to Talent Unlimited High School.
Where's that?
68th Street and 2nd Avenue, the Julia Richmond complex.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
It's down the block from Hunter.
Talk your talk, girl.
And then I got a bachelor's
Do you
in
work in
dance.
education?
I do, but
What do you do?
I have a master's in TESOL, teaching
Talk
English to
your
speakers of
talk.
speakers
Say
of
it
other
again.
language. Teaching English to speakers of other languages.
Okay.
That's
I
like what-
was going to get my master's in dance education, but there aren't many openings in the
Okay.
DOE for that, so that's why I went a
So,
different route.
okay.
Wait a minute. Can I ask you a
Wait.
question? That's like ESL. That's what we were.
Yes, ESL, yes, it is E ESL.
It's a little different. But hold on. You work in education
I do.
and you work with ENL students.
ENL, yes, ENL.
It's called ENL.
ENL now.
What's ENL?
Actually,
What is that?
learners of new languages too is a new way of saying it.
Yeah. Okay. So one thing that a lot of people don't know, when I started school, I was an ESL student.
Because we were Hicks.
But it's a little different. So now I work, I teach. Like
Part of your tribe.
I know.
I'm a teacher, so I teach ENL students, right? So it's a little bit different because I don't teach the priority is not for me to teach in Spanish. So I go back and forth, and the priority is for me to teach in English,
Okay.
right? So when I started school, I was ESL, and at that time, the teacher taught in Spanish.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that would be bilingual education nowadays.
That would be bilingual
Yeah.
now.
Now
Yeah.
ENL is you have children that speak Arabic or speak French or whatever. Like they're all mixed in. It's not just Spanish kids. Spanish
How do you?
kids.
So how do you like manage that? Like, do you wait?
Very
Hold on.
different.
So
Like, before I
it's
ask a stupid
different.
question, do you speak French and Arabic?
No, I don't.
Okay,
Google
so it's a good
Translate
question.
helps.
Google
Translate helps.
and I have the pocket translator that I'm like.
Yeah, like if a
3
child really
plus
doesn't
5,
understand,
boom, and then
like I'll put Google Translate. I'll type what I have to say and I'll put it to their ear so they can hear it and they kind of understand. But for the most part, I teach first grade, so we're starting off with like letter sounds and stuff. So it's,
Okay.
okay.
All right.
So you're a teacher.
I'm a teacher. Yes.
Are you in
Are you
the
tenured?
ICT or you by yourself?
I'm by myself.
Alright,
This
I'm
year
by
I have
myself
20
too.
students. Last year I had 27.
Are you tenured?
This is my tenure year, January.
Nice.
I've just started. I'm nowhere near
Guys,
being.
you guys don't
tenured.
know what this means. Us people that have real jobs. So I'm just messing around. It's okay, guys. You guys can laugh. You can laugh back there. Crystal just happens to have a real job with like health insurance, shit like that. But right?
Not Edwin. When Edwin's sick, he's screwed.
No, but that's why Edwin takes care of himself.
Edwin uses Viva Porú and
Yeah,
lemon
and ice.
tea
Y la
and-
cebolla en la media.
y-
There you
sí,
go.
eso todo.
That's awesome. How long you been a teacher for?
So I was subbing for 6 years, and then I became a teacher. I got my certification right after COVID. COVID woke
Nice.
my ass up and was like, you cannot dance forever. Like, you need to make a career. Wake up. Like, you're lucky you're working right now because I was still getting paid through COVID, even though I was a sub and working online.
Nice.
Right.
So I finished my master's, and I got my certification.
You know, me and Jeff were subs together.
Yeah.
Guess
Subbing
who
is a
was the-
cool thing because
guess
like you
who was
get
the
paid, you
serious
don't go to
one?
work, you don't
Guess
get
who
in
was
trouble.
the
Guess who was
sub?
the tough sub?
You?
Why would you say that?
Porque tú eres el charlatán ahora, and it's, so, you didn't
Yeah.
take that career
Abel,
seriously.
I told one day I was subbing. They were like, "Yo, you gotta sub this music class," and I'm like, "I can't teach them how to." They're like, "Nah, it's all right.
Yo.
Just go in there and make sure that they behave."
I
So
was-
I would
I was-
come in
it was
and
a
I would
free
go
period.
like this. I would go, "Yo, make sure that you guys are not out of control," and I would sit there and they would. And Abel came in.
Yo, they were
Abel-
hanging off the fucking lights. I was like, Jeff, what is going on in here? Where is the control? And he was like, Nah, man,
They
they alright,
aight,
man.
they
He's on his
aight.
computer, just completely ignoring it.
And then
My
of
class was like
course-
this. My class was like
Of
that.
course, his fucking ass starts playing the piano and he gets everybody. Oh my God, you know how to
'cause
play.
that's
And
the
he
thing,
got
you
all
gotta
that
get
ten-
control.
It's cheating.
I'm a control
It's
freak.
a fucking cheat
Yeah.
code.
But before that, I was teaching dance at the same school I've been working at since I was 17.
Where do you work?
I work by Yankee Stadium. In the
You don't
South
gotta give
Bronx.
that close too many
I'm
details,
just
because then you
by
know
Yankee
how
Stadium.
crazy out
What's
there
the name
trying
of
to follow
school?
you. Jeff, chill. That's a lot of info, man.
No, I get it. All right.
No,
all
like
right.
my mom's been working at that school since I was 10. So like I grew up in that school. So that's
Got
the
it.
only job I've ever had. And
Okay. What kind of kids you get? You get like Dominican kids?
I have in my class right now. I have Dominicans. I have African American kids. I have Arabic, and I have
Like kids that just are learning English now? Like
No, like most of them pretty much. I have like maybe 7 L students in my class.
Okay, cool.
So
Look
it's
at
a
that.
mix.
And you just started the tenure?
Tenure
So
year.
I'm getting tenured this year in January. Like most people get tenured at the end of the year, but because I got my license in the middle of the year, my tenure is now in January.
Okay.
So you submit like an online portfolio with student work, how you got students from A to B, and your mission and stuff like that, and recommendation letters.
So let me ask you a question, because Jeff and I talked about method, like the methodology and the pedagogy.
Pedagogy.
The pedagogy. Sorry. Do you implement any of the things that you do in the school with when you teach your classes?
Like my dance classes,
Yeah.
I feel like it's 2 totally different worlds for me.
Okay.
Because I'm teaching babies, and outside of that, I'm teaching adults.
'Cause
And
adults
I
are
feel
pretty
like
much babies.
Adults are more stubborn. It's more difficult. I mean, I can say that I'm Melaza. I don't have so many issues,
Yeah, yeah.
which makes it easy to run the team, right?
Okay.
But when you go outside of that and you try to teach outside of that, it's like, oh my God, like I'd rather be teaching kids right now.
I hear that. I
It's
get
just,
that.
I feel like it's easier to mold children than adults, because adults already tienen como su mala costumbre, right? And they're stuck in their ways.
Bad habits, guys. Bad habits.
Sorry,
I
I'm a
feel
little,
that-
I'm a
I
little
feel-
Spanglish,
Don't
my
worry about it.
I
friends.
feel that understanding pedagogy made me a better dance teacher.
Yeah, it has made me explain things better. It has given me more patience, more aware of my learning as well. Like, I feel like I have to keep growing in order to help others continue to grow.
Okay.
So, yeah, I guess it goes hand in hand, but it's also very different from like the babies to the adults.
Okay. So now that we got the professional side of it, how does the dancing like part come in? When does that get introduced, and how does that happen?
Like this scene of ours.
Yeah. How do you get introduced to the scene of ours?
So, I met people that in college that were going to Cache. And
Which cache?
Cache
Where
Dance
was it?
Studio in the
Oh,
Bronx
okay, the
with
dance
Juan and Caridad. Actually, no, let me rewind.
Blondell.
Let me rewind. When I was like 9, my mom used to go to Jimmy's Bronx Cafe. Y'all know who used to teach there?
Who?
Eddie and Maria Torres.
Okay.
So my mom used to take the class, and I heard Brianna's story, and she used to sit there and watch. No, yo era presentar. So I used to get up and take the class with my mom.
Okay.
And then Maria took me to Eddie's class. So that's where like I got introduced to On too.
Okay.
Then I had to stop because my grandmother got sick, so I stopped doing salsa in general, like anything in the scene. And then I got introduced to Juan Caridad, and I was training there for a little while, and then I did my first congress. That's when I saw Fausto and Maria doing Soledad.
Which one is that one?
That's
What were they
we
wearing?
had white. They didn't even
White
have a
one.
costume at that time. They just had like a white shorts and a shirt, and they didn't even
the
have a
white
costume.
one?
That's the white one. We competed with that one.
Okay, I know which one it is.
Uh huh.
Yes, looking down.
Uh-huh.
I remember that.
So then I was like, yo, they do bachata out here? Like, where am I? Like, I want to do that.
That's
So-
your first time you sing Fausto?
Fausto ever, because I remember I wasn't in the scene. So that was my first congress with CT Salsa Fest in, I want to say 2014. So I'm seeing all these people. My tech was after Yamule. I was shitting on myself, like, what the fuck? What am I doing? And then I want to take classes with him. And
With
I
Fausto?
just, with Fausto. And I started taking those classes. He was teaching at Ripley. And just my luck, the day he had class.
Come take class and shit.
No,
said like
I
that?
didn't even speak to him. I
No?
knew Essence. So Essence was like, oh, we have class and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So boom, I went, and that day happened to be audition day. And I'm like, bueno, I'm walking into my fate, I guess. Maria's like, you're auditioning, right? And I'm just like, what? What is that?
Okay.
What are we doing? And I ended up going to the salsa audition with Isabel in the wrong room instead of going to the room with Fausto Maria.
Isabel.
That was Fausto's partner at the time as
Okay.
well.
Yeah, it was not Super Bowl.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to Isabel.
Yep.
And then somehow I made it to the Bachata team without auditioning for the Bachata team.
So
You know,
so wait, you
something
auditioned
about
for
that
Salsa?
sounds right.
And I got into the Bachata team.
They were like, hey,
I
ponla
had
ahí
just,
porque-
I had just
Yeah,
taken
let's
class.
just
I had
slide.
just taken the class. So they had already seen me in Bachata, I guess.
So they
right?
knew you were talented, basically,
yeah.
what you sing.
Yeah, and then I met Carlos at LCL one day.
This is Carlos
Sapphire.
Hernandez. Carlos Sapphire,
Mhm.
okay.
And then I trained on Sapphire for a bit. And then I was still on Fuerza.
You were doing all this at the same time?
And
How?
while working.
How?
I just,
How was your experience in La Fuerza?
bueno. It was great. Feel like I learned a lot from Fausto. I had a lot of experiences, a lot of doors opened up for me. And then things went sour.
Why?
And then, so I feel like a new partnership came into the scene and things weren't seeing eye to eye, right? And also like,
What do you wait when you say new partnership?
I'm not
you mean-
saying the
Fausto's
name.
new partnership.
I'm not saying
No,
names.
it's okay.
But Fausto's
But-
new partner.
Okay.
At the time where things started to go downhill, because I mean, in the beginning, like, I was on the training, I was on the student team, well, Formula F, it was called at the time, and then I started to train for pro, and then I had a death in the family that really like took a toll on me. I stopped dancing, I gained a lot of weight. But when I came back, I was starting to lose a lot of weight. He would do like survival, the fittest, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I would be the last person standing, still not hired. I got kicked off the team through a message. And I was just like, wow.
Fausto
okay.
kicked you off through message?
I got kicked off the chat.
Oh, okay.
And then I messaged him. And then I was like, this doesn't make sense because, like, Fausto and I were like family. So then
Are you saying that you got kicked off because you gained weight?
I feel like, so I've had that experience before outside of the scene too, right? Weight has always been an issue. No matter how talented I was, it's always, oh, if you lose 10 more pounds, if you lose 5 more pounds. And I feel like that doesn't make a dancer. And that's why on my team, I don't care what you weigh, what you look like, what's your age. If you're not even if you're talented, if you're willing to train, you're dedicated, I'm gonna work with you,
Okay.
right? So the relationship went sideways, whatever.
Jeff,
I feel
you
like,
could have danced for her.
vamos,
could've.
vamos, todito,
I was
todito,
fucking
vamos.
huge.
Todito.
You know how I used to travel and I would look around and I'm like, damn, I'm like twice the size of everybody in here.
Big and
Yeah.
tasty. That was Jeff's nickname in Europe. Big
That
and
was
tasty.
never-
No, but like it happened to me when I was like 109 pounds in Dance Theater of Harlem. It was like, we're gonna kick you off scholarship because you're not skinny. Like everybody that was black and like, you want these people like to stop eating and stuff like that. Like, no, I'm sorry, my body's not built that way. I don't feel healthy that way.
Neither am I.
I hear
A mí
you.
me gusta a mí half a chicken with pork fried rice. That's not gonna change.
We know that.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You see? That's why I don't. You know why? Because you hammer that in. Let it go.
Edwin
You
gave
were the one
Jeff.
that just
We did a
you
Secret
know.
I
Santa
mentioned
one
it,
year,
but
Yeah.
and Edwin bought Jeff a half chicken with pork fried rice as the Secret Santa gift.
and that's not fair. Because you know
So
what?
You love it.
I would. You know what? I'm insecure about it. And you know what? I would have never done that to you, ever.
You've done stuff.
Nah, I haven't done anything to you.
You might have not done
No.
that, but you've done
I
stuff.
haven't done anything to you.
Oh, guys, please. I digress.
I'm sorry, I
Sorry.
digress, but I haven't done anything
So
like that.
you leave. So you leave La Fuerza. Like, all right, and then what happens after that? What do you start doing?
My girls, because I was also doing the franchises for him, not only in New York but outside of New York.
What do you mean you were doing the franchise? What does that mean?
I was helping Chris, like
It's not a
manage.
franchise, but okay.
It was franchises at one point.
No, you guys think it was a franchise.
Well,
but
eso
it
es lo que lo llamaban, so
That's
you
what
know, we go by that. We go by
I do
it.
that. I do that to. I don't do that to. It's not about you. I just do that to make a point. Because a lot of directors, we like to call it franchises, but Rude Awakening
Bueno, lo otro
franchise
equipo.
law exists. Go
Lo
ahead.
otro equipo del otro estado.
You had other
know,
teams.
Other teams, other
Okay,
states.
I like that.
So we would help, like, if they needed help with the choreos, like, you know, giving them feedback, et cetera, like, basically, like, managing outside of New York.
Mm-hmm.
And in New York, we had the student teams, basically, of that.
So you were manejando. You were driving that. You and Chris were basically in charge of all that.
More or less, like, he overseed everything, but, like,
You were like,
if we needed to help, like, we were the right and the left hand.
Got it.
Right?
Nice.
nice.
My girls did not want to dance with the new person in charge.
Okay.
So when that team was taken from me, they were like, "Nah, we're not going over there. We don't." I mean, there was a few that were like, "I am nombre grande, so I'm gonna go over there." Right? Is somebody known? I want fame.
All right, let me ask you a question. Do you think it was personal, or do you think that it was just rules that you didn't align with?
So at
it's two
first-
different. So what I mean by that is like, this person didn't like me, or this person has rules that I can't align with. It's two different things.
I feel like at one point I thought it was very personal, right? But I'm a person that self-reflects and goes back and goes back and look at the situation over and over again, right? And at one, like there were like personal things with that person from a previous team, but I also think that everybody has a vision for their company and they have a mission for their team. And sometimes we don't align with that mission or that look that they have, and things change over time, right?
Is it right?
Is it right? I don't think so, because if you're loyal to somebody, like that loyalty should stand its ground.
Okay, fair
And
enough.
if you like that, you should just. If I proved myself already to you, like there should be some type of loyalty, like there's just some type of communication, because we had that already, right? But nowadays, we have surpassed that. And we are in a good space, him and
that's
I.
wonderful.
And I have worked for him again in his new studio.
Okay.
He's very
That's great.
supportive of Melaza. And I feel like, but that happens in every family, right? Like, even with your cousins, like, you have misunderstandings, shit happens, and you're able to overcome it if the love is real. And I feel like the love has always been real. And I'm going to always give him his props for teaching me what I know in the bachata scene and for opening the doors that I have opened from him and for myself, right? So I feel like we always have to go back and give the props where props have to be given.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
It's-
fair. I like that.
It's similar, let's say, like my beef with Edwin.
Not this head.
Yeah, you.
I thought it was the other. I thought
No, you.
Because
Okay.
Jeff wants you to give him props. You don't want to pay
Yeah.
homage.
I did.
I told
give
you the
props
other
already.
day.
That's a la mano,
I told you the other day who's your mentor, and you didn't mention me.
Oh, because I mean,
I'm not a mentor of yours. You have
Jeff's
to.
very passionate about this, Chris.
Whatever. We'll come
well,
back.
you
to
know
it.
when you say that someone's the worst beginner in history, this is not a good start.
I mean,
Dude, you sucked. Edwin said it. Sorry.
Every
Nelson
episode,
said it.
you
Abel
say.
said it.
yeah.
You were terrible.
I told you you
I
gotta
know.
wear that shit with like a badge of honor.
I
Edwin.
do wear it,
No, but
I
you gotta
actually
yo,
admit
bro.
it.
Like again,
but
bro.
Crystal, all right, let's talk.
Ay, yeah, porque tú estás caído.
No, this is, but if someone says, yo, you're the worst beginner in the history of bachata.
Oh, I saw that podcast. Like that.
But if someone says, yo, you're the worst beginner in the history.
Dude, you fucking sucked. What do we want me to do?
There's a
about it?
difference between someone saying, yo, you suck versus you're the worst beginner
But then
in the
I heard.
history.
But then you passed them, right? You became number one.
Yeah.
I saw that. I
Well,
saw that.
he
Right?
is.
It's the comeback game.
that's
though.
what
It's
I'm
the
trying to
comeback.
tell
It's the
him.
come- Now you be like, what
Alright,
happened?
yeah,
What
but
happened?
still-
Ahora
But
qué?
we know that.
But
We're
you
not
don't come
fighting.
back from the worst in the history.
We know that, but that's not, no, bro. Like,
All right. Let me. You know what? I'm gonna switch gears. Crystal, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a
He said he
question.
don't want to get touched.
Let me
with
ask
that
you a
topic.
question.
Dígame.
What is it like doing this as a female?
Oof. I feel like women get objectified.
What
If
does
that
that
makes
mean?
sense, right?
You gotta
Some-
talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
I'm
'cause
doing good.
not-
I'm doing good. Okay.
I'm not
My girls are
smart
giving me the
enough.
sign. You're doing good.
I'm not smart enough to
You are very smart. No,
not that smart.
we hope you're smart. You're teaching the future.
So I feel like a lot of promoters hire people based on what you look like, right? And there's somebody in the scene in the city that hires a lot of teachers because they cute, right? But not based on talent or
Teaching skills.
exactly, right? So it's kind of difficult to be a curvy person. And aquí, ajá, otra más para mí, para que yo hablar más bien.
Ay, Dios.
Oh.
I got you. Nos jodimos
So it's kind of
todito.
difficult to be a curvy person and try to get hired and stuff like that because people look, oh, what looks good for them. But I also, on the other hand, I also feel like we are getting a lot of more opportunities as women, and it's looking up little by little.
Okay,
Does that
so
make
wait,
sense?
wait. So
It goes both ways. I guess it depends, like
So-
where you're trying to get hired, and you have to know the promoters really well.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that what you're saying is that you feel that a lot of promoters hire based on how you look, right?
Many of them, yes.
And what you're saying is that if you don't fit that mold,
You're not really getting opportunities.
you're not getting opportunities.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Okay,
Salud.
fair enough. So my next question is, does that have to do with women or does that have to do with men? So for example, I'm probably better in every aspect of life than Edwin, but he might be better looking than me. Is he gonna get hired better first?
Yeah, I'll let you
I
ask.
don't know.
Seriously?
I don't
No.
know.
Listen, Edwin's better looking than I am.
You
Is he
know
gonna
what?
get hired
That
first?
that can be a possibility. I mean, I guess because I'm a woman, I'm not looking at it from a man's point of view, and I'm not seeing I'm not really paying attention to who gets hired as a man, right?
Okay.
I'm looking at they hired this, and they don't really know. They just started. Like, what are we doing?
So in other words,
Because they learned the basic, they can teach a class now.
if you get hired just because of your looks, it's not because you're better than me. Just remember that.
Yeah, lo Jeff, pero
That's what you just said, no?
that's not. I don't think that's what she said. No,
No.
I think.
All right, no, I'm fucking around.
No, all
listen,
right, wait.
I mean-
listen, all jokes
This is,
aside,
I
I'm
think
fucking
this is
around.
an important point. There's a point.
It is an important point. You know why?
Yeah.
Because look, at the end of the day, look, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right? What you're trying to say is that promoters
Sorry.
align themselves with what they want, and if you don't fit that mold, it's difficult to get hired. And the question is like, are you hiring the best people for the job, or are you hiring the look you want? I understand what you're saying, right? So I'm joking, but at the end of the day, I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying. I'm just trying to make light
No,
of the
of course.
situation.
Do you feel that is a hurdle that you can overcome, or do you think that's something that you're gonna always have to deal with?
I feel like that's always gonna exist in life. It's not just in dance.
Okay.
It's all over. You're always gonna have some type of obstacle to overcome. Okay, I overcame this one. Now I got another one. Right?
Right.
And you just gotta keep pushing. If you really want it, you keep pushing.
Got
Okay.
it.
Fair enough. Now, for example, right, the events that you're mentioning, and we don't have to kind of be specific. If those events are working based off of that trajectory, is that even an event that you want to be involved with?
I try not to go there too much. Only when we're asked to perform once in a blue, we go. But it's kind of like, hey, let's keep this door open por si acá, right?
Okay.
But it's not that I go and I support that event often. It's like, okay, you asked me to perform, I'm gonna come, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And if I feel like I'm gonna stay, and usually I make my girls stay for the social for at least an hour. That's a rule in Melaza. But if I don't really feel comfortable, I leave.
Okay.
I do what I
As
gotta do
you
and I
should.
leave.
As you should leave. You shouldn't have to stay any place where you don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as a woman in our scene, like, do you feel that we're on a path where things are getting better in terms of any issues that we're having? I mean, I'm talking in a general term, and if you want to be specific about something, you're more than welcome to do so. Do you feel that we're on a path where things are going to get better, or do you think that it's going to be a lot more of the same?
I feel like things are getting better. I feel like everybody's become more aware of the things that happen in the socials, as far as like misconduct. I know that a lot of socials that we go to, such as El Colmado, I don't know if you guys have heard of El Colmado
Yeah,
by Ace
100%.
Fusion.
Yeah.
They have a code of conduct. Back in the days, Bachadura, Matatang and Ala and LFX, they used to have a code of conduct as well. So I feel like people are becoming more, like, let's say, woke, right, of what's going on and being more observant of what's going on in the scene, and people are taking action based on it. Like, it was recently, went to a social, and this guy was like agarrando las girls from the moño and moving them around, and we're like, yo, that's not how you dance. And he found it cute, and then he grabbed one of my girls' butts. So I told the promoter, and then the promoter had a conversation with the guy. The guy doesn't come around us anymore, and he's not acting crazy no more.
Okay, that's
But,
great.
you know, actions are
think-
being taken.
Do you think that these things that you're seeing are like, are they is that like typical behavior in the scene?
I feel like I'm starting to experience that stuff now because when I started, it wasn't like that. I don't know, like somewhere along the line, culture changed, and
You think it's worse now?
in my eyes, because I guess now that I'm a little more into the scene and I've experienced it more, like I'm more aware because I have a lot of young girls on my team. So I feel like Mama Hen has to take care of the girls and I have to observe what's going on with my girls because if something happens to them, that's on me.
So, like, is this something? I don't know if you don't mind answering. Is this something that you hear your ladies like bringing to the light more often?
I don't see it that much. Like, we haven't experienced anything at like a congress or at a festival, anything like that. Like, it's more like our smaller socials that we've gone to that the girls have brought it up like, yo, this just happened to me. And I'm just like, wait, what? All right, I'm going to handle it. And I speak to whoever I have to speak to because I have that line of communication with these promoters. And there's a mutual respect. So I'm seeing it now more. I guess maybe it was happening before, but because I was always with my directors and I never experienced anything like that. But now my girls are. So me in the director's chair is like, I got to step up. I got to fix this. I got to make sure my girls are safe. I got to make sure they feel good to go to socials.
Okay.
So I have a question. You dance bachata, and obviously there's two different. Is it safe to say there's two different worlds of bachata? There's like a sensual component, and there's more of a more traditional. Is that?
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm
And
asking
there's
you,
modern in between, modern urban in between.
all right, modern urban. So let's say three different worlds.
Yeah.
Do you think that one? And this is my experience. It seems like the bachata sensual happens to be a little bit more provocative in its initial presentation. Do you think that that has anything to do with liberties that people possibly are taking because they're getting confused and getting lost in what they're doing as opposed to what they should be doing?
In our experience, we haven't. My girls are very vocal, right?
Yeah.
And they will tell you, don't body roll me, no me toque así, like in the beginning of the dance because I don't like that.
Okay.
Or they'll just, and the guy will get the hint, right?
Yeah.
But is it happened to us more of in a traditional scene? And I feel like it's people that.
Really? And more in the traditional.
So I feel like, and I don't want anyone to get offended when you hear this, right? People que vienen de la calle, people from the street, don't have the dance etiquette, don't understand the dance world,
Like
right?
us.
We understand. You guys understand it, like. Yo,
No, I think what Jeff
no.
means is that we came off of a street and we went to a studio and we took a class. We had no
Yeah.
context.
So, but then over time, you start to understand the rules, right? You understand what is etiquette. And I feel like these people lack the etiquette.
But-
And that's where the disrespect comes from. But there's also people que son frecos and they just se pasan.
All right, so is that incumbent on us to make sure that we're stressing this etiquette, or are these people like us? Because we kind of went in there and we educated ourselves and we had to figure this shit out on our own. Is it more incumbent on us who's driving the culture to be able to say, hey guys, we want you to be a part of this, we want you to be down, but yo, here are the do's and don'ts?
I think that is very important to have like the do's and don'ts, a code of conduct basically, right? So that it holds people accountable. Like, you know what's expected of you, and if you don't follow this, you gotta go.
Okay, that's fair enough. Jeff and I, and that's something like, again, it's not something that, Jeff and I have had that discussion before.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna say something, right? So when we first started, right, it was the three of us, and we had a lot of different cliques, right? And I'm proud of that to this day because we would get like a phone call and it would be like 3 female friends and they'd be like, hey, we want to go out, can you guys, are you guys down? And we'd be like, yeah, we'd go out and we social dance and we spend time. And I always felt, I was always proud of the fact that we would go out, we would hang out, we would dance, we would go home. And we were pretty consistent, and I always felt that everybody felt safe around us. Now, in terms of next level stuff, I'm always gonna say that next level stuff is acceptable as long as it's agreeable.
Consenting parties.
Yeah.
So if you're on board, then you're on board, right? But I always felt that, like, we had, I don't know how to explain it. Like, we had a vision. Like, we wanted to make sure that whatever we did was okay, and that was important to us.
Can I be honest? The truth? Before we did this, we were cool.
What you mean? You cool
I'll
now?
tell you, no.
though.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna tell you what it is. People get into this is important. This is important, I think, for context, right? Because you made a great point.
I understand what you meant.
said, yo, people come off the street and they don't know what's up. Before we danced, we were cool.
We were okay.
Anyways,
we didn't need to dance.
This wasn't
didn't-
an ego stroke for us. This was something that we found and we wanted to cultivate, and we felt very much a part of, because it was everything that it filled gaps for each one of us in ways that we really didn't even understand yet, right? Because when I think about this in terms of dance, it's probably the most consistent thing I've done in my life. And I'm
But
trying to
we-
be funny.
we didn't-
but we were
we
cool
didn't-
before. I didn't need this to come pick up women.
Listen,
Yeah.
this is gonna sound messed up, but there's a lot of male dancers that we know
Yes.
that needed dance.
Yeah.
They need.
Nah, but it's not. It's the truth though.
They needed dance to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Y'all can laugh, bro.
You can laugh. It's
you
the
can
truth.
laugh. We
didn't come in here for that.
we didn't come in here
But
for
some
that.
people do.
Exactly.
No,
That's the
like,
point.
when I first started dancing, I remember.
Yeah.
Definitely need to be here.
Yo,
wasn't
he's
good.
Bendito, he's hurt. Like, he's still stuck on that. I wasn't good.
Edwin's one of the
sucked.
best. Listen, Edwin.
I'm just kidding.
Edwin, you're one of the best dancers walking on
No, it's
planet
okay.
Earth right
Listen,
now.
I'm not.
Right.
I'm just
Dude,
joking.
you're
Right.
better than.
I'm
You
just
know
joking.
why we?
Yo,
no, wait,
all
wait.
jokes
You know why we
aside,
could
you
talk
brought me
shit
to
about you?
tears, like, at Tri-State with Lift Me Up. Like, I was crying watching you. Like,
Listen,
that shit was
you know
amazing.
why? You know why I could talk shit about you? Cause you're better than me.
Yeah.
That's
Listen,
why.
I'm just
Dude,
joking. I'm
listen.
just,
But I have a company. I've done a lot
Yo.
of good shit. But you know what? Listen. People need to know you fucking sucked first.
It's inspiring.
It's
No, but
inspiring.
I don't care
But
about
you know,
what I'm
but
saying
you know
is,
what?
I'm just
That's
joking.
honestly, all jokes aside, like, dude, you're a better dancer than I am.
And even
You're
before,
a better
even when,
dancer
and
than I'm
even when
ever gonna
Edwin
be.
sucked, he didn't need dance to pick up women. Like that was
Right.
not a thing. It wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't a necessity.
Well, I guess I was getting it. I was like, well, if anybody, I wasn't very good, and I just enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I didn't
because-
even know it was gonna turn out this way.
Exactly. And
But
that's what I
do
think is
to
the
touch
issue.
to touch on what you guys are saying as well. Like, there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of, especially nowadays, because now I think our dance world is huge, a lot bigger than what it was when we first started. But I think a lot of it is, now we definitely have to have some sort of etiquette.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
it's huge. It's bigger than now. It's before obviously it wasn't as big, so nobody really. It's a sad thing to say, but no one cared about it, right? But now the fact that we have 3 genres of bachata.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was a modern.
Well,
urban.
it's just.
I'm learning that right now. I
Yeah.
only know.
And-
I'm
and-
Coronel told me that.
with the-
Like, yo, bro, I'll be honest with you. Like, I fuck with sensual and I fuck with traditional, but I'm more of a fucking urban bachata guy.
Yeah.
But you know what it is?
Yeah, that's
you
la
know what
pura
it is?
vida.
Look, you know what it is? What happens is, what Abe was talking about is that, like, yo, when you're not like getting the respect, right? Like, or you're living your life and you feel like unsatisfied, and then all of a sudden you take a class
Yeah.
and you're talented and people pay attention to you, it's a shock. And then what happens is you take that and you go to another level with it, right? So I think, where I like to differentiate is that I worked at Dominican and I did this and I did that. And at the end of the day, what he's trying to say is that we understood that and we respected that.
Yeah, of course.
So we never wanted to
Disrespect.
violate that trust.
Yes.
We never wanted to violate that trust.
Yeah.
To this day, right? And I could say that comfortably because really nobody's gonna come out and say like, "Yo, Jeff violated my trust." That's why I could say that. Like I feel comfortable saying that to this day because I've been in the game for over 20 years, and none of the women that I've dealt with are gonna come out and be like, "Yo, Jeff violated my trust. He took advantage of me, or he did anything of that."
Yeah.
And that's why I'm okay with saying that.
So, touching on that, I feel like it also lands on the girl too, right? Because people see these names and these pictures on flyers and be like, "Oh, he's so famous. Oh my God." No, if somebody regular in the street sees one of you guys, they don't know who you guys are. You're a normal person. Just like if they see Fausto in the street or Chris in the street or Nick in the street, they're a regular person, right? But in the dance scene, oh my God, son famoso. They have 2K, 24K followers, whatever, and they're all over them. You're giving them an open invitation to whatever because you think they're famous and you think you're going to get somewhere that way.
Well,
and you see that a lot in the scene. Let's be real. You see
I
that a lot in the scene.
I don't see that. And I'm gonna
Not
be honest,
you, because
we don't.
you
We,
guys
no,
are
no, no, no. We
respectful,
don't go
like-
out though. We're not in the scene like that.
That's
If
true.
you
That's
really
true.
like,
That's true.
you see me probably 3 times a year,
Right.
and 2 of those are probably
Your
my events,
festivals.
right? Because again, this is just not something that we do.
Yeah.
You know, I went out to that social on Thursday. What's that called?
Solas.
Passions.
Uh-huh.
Which
Shout
is
out
dope.
to Mikey
Shout out
G.
Mikey G.
Uh-huh.
Like,
And we only went because it was your birthday.
and I've never gone back, with all due respect. And it had nothing to do with the event, because the event was great and it was packed, and we had a wonderful time.
That's
and it was
'cause-
bachata
that's 'cause
filled.
you're
There was
old.
a lot of bachata
That's
all
Night
night.
long.
That's
Yeah.
because you're old fuck. That's
Yeah.
what
It is, yo,
We
we
go
old.
out because I feel like I'm still building the Melaza brand and
Of
I'm
course.
still building Melaza. So like I show my face, and then like people also tell us like, "Oh, y'all only come out when y'all trying to promote an event or whatever." So like we try to make it consistent so people don't say that shit.
Don't
Or-
worry about
or-
what other people say. You can't go by
Or
that
people
shit.
tell us, I had somebody tell me, "Oh, you go out to all these events, you must get in for free." What? Well, I gotta pay or I get in for free. I'm still gonna go if I support the
All right.
person.
Crystal, let me ask you a question. Like,
What's up?
Yeah, that look in your eye.
Don't
He's
judge
gonna
me.
get
Let me just
serious
talk,
right now.
Okay, go ahead.
all right, so with all the sexual allegations that go on in the scene, right? Do you feel is overblown up, or do you feel that there's some truth to it?
Bueno. There's some truth to it, I feel. But I also feel like if you know the person, you might know that there's always 2 sides in the truth. So some things might be blown up and some things might be true. But we will never know the actual story because none of us were there.
All right, so based on your experiences, which way would you lean? If it was like based on what you know.
Next question, please.
Fair
What she
enough.
said?
Next question.
please.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough. We don't have to go there if you don't
That
want
can
to.
be a discussion off camera.
Okay, so
Fair enough.
what do you see as the future for your company?
More championships. Get ready.
Do you guys compete?
We
They
competed
compete at
at Tri-State. We had 2 first and 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
I had my kids compete and they won 2 first.
Nice.
And that was the first time like I ever coached for a competition, and I didn't bring anyone in to coach us. Like it was just me based on my experience and what I went through on La Fuerza, and like trying to give them an easier experience without like the 3 a.m. rehearsals and I'm about to throw up type shit, you know. But we worked hard, and I can say that we did it on our own because someone told me, "Oh, why you adding these things to it? Like just stick to what y'all know. Like just move your hips because that's what Melaza's known for." Just because we were adding like a trick or we were getting on the floor and getting back up, adding a split. No, I'm going to do it my way because this is what I believe in and this is my vision and this is what I want to do. So I'm going to keep doing that. And I'm going to keep doing it if the girls say, we're doing this and I support and I see the team growing. and just having fun with it. Like, I don't feel like I want to make this a career because I love being a teacher and educator. And this is just because I love to dance, right?
I'll tell you a funny story. So years ago, we were a Sunday
LCL?
LCL.
LCL, I love
And
that
me and
social,
Cristal
man.
used to have it. She used to go all the time, and me and Cristal had to talk. And I said to her, "Yo, what do you want to do?" And she was like, "I think I want to do my own thing." And I said, "Yo, you know what? You should do that." Right? You remember those conversations?
This is Alejandro's event.
Yeah,
Shout out to Alejandro.
that was the best social ever, man. I miss that social.
The LCL on Sundays?
Yeah, I feel like it had a little bit of everything for everybody. Like
Yeah,
there
those
was kizomba, there was bachata, there was salsa. Like everybody had a room.
That-
Like
different
the
times.
performances were great. Like it was just a good vibe.
I think it also was convenient.
Yeah,
Like the location of it, too.
yeah.
Right? It was right there. Everybody could get there.
34th and 5th. Or something.
34, yeah, right across the street from the Macy's. And,
Yeah, it was like by Empire State Building.
but we used to have that conversation about you doing your own thing. And now you're doing your own
I'm
thing.
doing it.
All right?
It was forced on me, but I did.
Nobody forced you
It
to do
was
anything.
because I didn't want my girls to feel like I don't want to dance no more. Like they didn't want to
listen,
dance over there. So I was
That,
like,
that's the
this was a-
universe
no, so-
doing its thing.
Crystal,
It was
you
the
mi-
universe,
you're
it
miss-
was the
you're-
universe.
There's a huge point in this that you're missing, right?
Yeah.
Like, yo, listen, you're a big personality, right? And at the end of the day, there's like you coach a women's team, right? And there's a lot of women that aspire to do this, and it's difficult for them to take that step forward, right? So at the end of the day, you're aspiring them, you're mentoring them, and that's going to be bigger than some of the other things that we assume
Yeah.
are okay. Because at the end of the day, all of this, it's a facade. At the end of the day, what it comes down to is, are you influencing people? And you are, and you're influencing younger women that need a role model, right? Which
And
is why
older,
we-
'cause so
why
my-
we
my team
asked
is,
you-
like,
Why we
range.
asked you to talk with us, and that's what I'm saying. That like,
because I have like women that are like 50 plus on my team, right?
Yeah, but that's also
and
inspiring
they're also
as well.
no,
But-
that's what I'm saying. Like they're like, thank you for giving me the opportunity, even though I'm this age. Because if I were to go to another team, they'll be like, you're too
Right.
old, or you're too
and
short,
you know
you're
what?
too fat,
And you
you
know
this,
what?
you that.
That is important too, right? But they don't need you as much as your younger dancers need you, and that's the point,
Yeah.
right? Like they need you for something personal, but your younger dancers need you for something else, because at the end of the day, it's a grind out here, and there's a lot of things that could be confusing. So you may think you're teaching them dance, but you're teaching them something a lot more impactful and a lot more important. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and my
honestly,
younger
like,
girls have been with me since they were super young. Like
Yeah.
Adi has been with me since she was 7. Sky since she was 13. Ashanti, who's also on my pro team, has been with me since she was like 8 years old. So I
again,
basically raised
birthed them.
them,
And
and,
again,
those are
listen.
my babies, so I take super care of them,
like,
right?
you and I say hi and bye to each other, but we never talk on that level, right? But it's easy to see that. It's not difficult.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
And I wanted you here. Just wanted
Oh,
to-
I thought it was
credit.
mi amigo aquí.
Who was
No,
it?
mi amigo
Who
aquí.
picked it? I want credit.
Say it.
Can I get
It was
credit?
him. Say
No,
it.
Hold on.
He sends the list out.
He sends the
Oh,
list. out.
so who sent the list? He sent the list.
He sent
Well,
the
he
list.
texts us, yeah. 'cause-
Okay.
He texted the list. But
But
I
we-
called.
but we
Because
also
we friends. Because we friends.
my
This is my
homie.
friend. And
That's your homie, but I just want you to know that I picked you, not him. Don't give him credit. You know
I
what
don't
it
want
is?
credit.
I'm fucking pissed off because you get fucking credit for everything.
I don't get credit.
You don't fucking deserve it. You don't deserve it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You don't deserve it. You don't.
we touch a nerve. We
You
touched
are
the nerve.
Steven.
I know.
We touched the nerve.
I'm not a stealer.
Yeah, you are. You steal credit.
Like,
You steal mine and Edwin's credit. Edwin, tell him.
I don't steal your
Sometimes.
credit.
Edwin, tell him.
Sometimes.
I don't steal anything, guys. I'm just trying to be me and just put my pants on one leg at a time, just like everybody else.
See, I said that last episode. You stole it.
Yo.
Damn, Jay.
You know, guys, I think the Patron has gotten to us. This was a Oh my god! I feel
I
like
thought this was gonna be like more like jokey. This got being serio. Like,
Yo, but you know what? I thought it was great. I thought you gave like you gave off a different vibe.
thank you. The
You gave off
educated side, right?
professional vibe. Yeah, you got
Right.
really teacher on me.
Right. Sorry,
I saw a post on
my girls didn't give me the sign, so that means I did good.
I saw a post on Instagram that from Abbott's Elementary. Do you watch that?
I watched that shit.
I'm
Shout out to Julie.
And
Me and Julie
in
watched
the
that
episode.
sometimes.
The kid gets sent home, and then he comes back to school, and the teacher's like, "Hey, I sent you home. What are you doing here?" And the kid was like, "Oh, my mom wrote you a note." And he reads the note, and he goes, "Dear Mr. Hill," he goes,
Don't try. Like,
he goes-
I'm
he
not the
goes-
one.
He goes, "The rules say you don't have to send my kid home till 3:00. So do me a favor. I'm not the one or the second. So send him home at 3. Like, don't play with me."
Like
And
we
that's
say,
what I
I'm
think
not
happened
Demir,
today.
I'm dead ass.
I think you walked in the door and you were like, "Don't play with me," and we were like, "All right, chill. We're not messing with you."
All right,
No,
let me ask
like
you
I
one
was
more
open
question.
to everything.
Let me ask you one more question before we
Uh-huh.
end.
Who's the Mambo King?
No, I'm not asking that.
No, we're not gonna ask you that.
I'm not
question.
getting on that because I'm gonna be on
Let me ask you a
Mickey on
question.
3.
Do you feel that the scene is good as it is, or do you feel that major change needs to be made?
I wouldn't say major, but I feel like as time goes, we have to keep elevating, right? We have to keep adjusting to times. We have to keep adjusting to what's going on in our scene, and trying to make it better.
In what way?
Like we spoke about code of conduct. We spoke about the type of instructors that people are hiring. Make sure it's quality. I can say that your events always have quality instructors, except for me. You guys haven't hired me yet. But
Make a note of that.
right, because the
Why
list
you
was
shooting
sent.
at me?
Because the
Yeah,
list
so
was
that I
sent.
know.
The list was sent
I
from
know.
over there. The list was sent from over there, right? So we're gonna talk to the jefe over there.
The list was sent from you. That's why she's
Right.
going like this to you.
We're gonna give you the credit.
All right.
Um,
I'm very quick at making adjustments. Just remember that.
yeah, as he adjusted the microphone.
I'm very quick at making adjustments. Continue.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. And hiring better DJs sometimes.
Oh.
Okay.
Yo, that's a sensitive. Let me
Nah,
tell you something
nah.
about the
This one right
DJs.
here, he's a good DJ.
No, no,
we
no,
good
no,
with
no,
that.
no,
Like
no, no.
Coronel, I love him DJing too, right?
Yo, the DJs are sensitive in our scene, though.
I know, but
crazy.
if we're gonna like cater to all the different types of bachata, we need to cater to all the different types of DJs in those scenes, right? So like people that are not really in the scene, like getting hired as much. Ace is an amazing DJ, right?
Ace won't answer me.
Ace won't answer. I
Ace,
got you.
I write to you all
I'll
the
talk to
time.
them. I'll talk to them this weekend.
You don't answer.
Or if you go to my event, they will be my DJ.
Ace?
Yes.
All right, Ace.
We have a very good
I'm
connection.
gonna be there
now.
next week.
So that's also like I'm building new connections with new people, right? So there's people in Florida. Obviously, it costs a little bit more because you have to pay for their travel and stuff like that. But they do a
Who
little
in
bit.
Florida? Social?
Social wise, you mean?
No, it's a joke.
What? No, like DJs. Like we go to events in Florida a lot.
I
So the bachata DJs in Florida, they be doing their thing.
Okay. Like who?
DJ DC and Fat Tony and Cognition.
That's a good name, Fat Tony.
It is.
If I were a DJ, I'd
He
call
was a
myself
big
Fat
guy. He was
Jeff.
a big guy, but he lost mad weight. So now I'm like, yo, you gotta change your name, bro.
Fat Jeff.
Fat Jeff. You're not fat no more, though.
They're like Fat Joe. Fat Joe ain't fat no more either. They
Right.
just call him Joey now.
So, yeah.
You feel that like in your time dancing that people have looked at you fairly?
No. We spoke about my weight situation, right? And I was told, oh, you are naturally good, but you need to lose weight. So it was always based on my weight. Like,
So naturally you have talent, but
yeah,
have
but
to-
you got to lose weight.
Okay.
And even on the salsa team that I was on, it was like, si pierdes 10 libras más, tú vas a estar bien, tú vas a estar para el pro. And it's like, what? Like, you saying right now, like, I'm doing the tricks with somebody. Somebody's lifting my ass. Because I was a lot thinner, too. I was a few pounds thinner than I am now. But somebody's lifting my ass. I'm doing these spins. I'm splitting. And I'm still not good enough? Vete pa'l cara.
Mierda.
I'm just saying,
What do you
like,
think?
What do I think about what?
respectfully, right? Like, I still love
No,
these
you gotta
people.
speak
I
your
still got
truth.
love for them, and I still support them, and they still support me. But if I'm gonna speak my truth and I'm gonna give light to certain situations that I know a lot of people are dealing with and not speaking on it because they're afraid of this cancel culture, then
All right, last question I'm gonna ask you. So, even with that, you still feel that there's men in the scene that have behaved inappropriately with you?
with me,
Yeah.
as far as weight comments, but as far as sexually, I don't think I've ever put myself out there like that.
So that's never happened to you.
No.
All right, good.
Good. That's amazing.
That is a good thing.
That's a
No,
wonderful-
because I feel like I respect myself enough to know limits and to know where, even when I was single, because I'm not single, I have a boyfriend who does not understand this dancing. But,
That makes sense.
right.
As a man, that I'm just saying.
No,
as a
like,
man,
it's
that
even
makes
like
sense.
little things like, you know, etiquette in the dancing is, te voy a agarrar la mano, I'm going to hold your hand, I'm going to walk you to the dance floor, right? So as a person outside of the scene does not understand, like, why are you holding my girl's hand?
Yeah.
Right?
I
So
get
that becomes an issue. But even when I was single, I never put myself out there to flirt with everybody and their mother and to be promiscuous. Nobody knows me like that. You know me, I do what I gotta do. If I did flirt with someone at the time, it was just between me and that person, and that's it. Right? So I feel like as a woman, if you want respect, you gotta make yourself be respected.
Sometimes I feel like comments about men get blown up out of proportion.
It's true. I feel like things go both ways. Like, men are gonna take it as far as they can if you give them that leverage too. But if you respect yourself, you're a respectable person. Myself, I can proudly say that my girls do that as well. They have boundaries.
Okay.
You cross that boundary is because you allowed it to. They crossed the boundary, you allowed it to happen. You can walk out of situations. You can say no. And if it continues to happen, you can get out of that.
But I also think that's the issue or the claims, right? The issue is that someone said no, and then someone didn't stop. So that's a whole different.
I will fuck a nigga up. Excuse my language.
Okay.
Right. But I'm saying, like,
But do
you
you
have to
understand what I'm-
protect
you
yourself.
understand what I'm saying?
You have to protect yourself. You can't just be like, oh no, and then, you know, things happen. Like, you have to be able to walk out of things. You have to help yourself. And then speak about it. Not wait years later or months later or weeks later for something to come about, because then obviously state laws or whatever say, like, after a certain amount of time, nothing can be done about it. So you cannot wait until everybody and their mother are talking about a situation to talk about it.
Yeah, but
If something
I think
happened,
that's
you
an
gotta-
individual, like, right?
No,
Everybody's
everybody's process
everybody's
is
ready
different.
when they're ready.
Right.
Right? So it's hard for me to, like, I see your point, and you're talking about you as an individual, but as a whole, I can understand, right? I'm not saying I understand completely, but I can understand someone taking their time to come to a point where they're ready to do
They're ready to
something.
talk about it. Yeah, absolutely. I respect that. But I also urge women or men that are being abused to find someone that they're comfortable speaking with and speak upon a problem when it happens so that actions can be taken appropriately in an accurate time frame.
Fair enough.
Right?
I like it.
Because I feel comfortable speaking to you. So if something happens to me, I'm going to come to you and I'm going to talk to you, right?
Yeah, but I also
I
think
have
there's
my
a whole
family.
there's a whole different dynamic there, right? I think that, you know, if there's something that happens and we have a conversation about it, you know that, number one, if it has to stay private, it can stay private. But if you also know that if you ever needed help with something, that I could help you with that in
So
whatever
that's what I'm
capacity.
saying, like-
Because help looks different to everybody. Help could be just listening to you in that moment, or help could be, hey, here, let me put you in the direction where you need to go to kind of make this.
Also, not everyone has help either. It's hard.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying too, but it varies from situation to
Situation. And some people feel.
I know
some
it
people.
could be. It's easy to. I don't want to say it's
Yeah.
easy, but there's times where there's situations where I think people can't say no.
Yeah,
Not
and-
because it's no, but it
It's
could
just
be
hard to get out of the situation.
Not even. It could be even more than that.
Yeah.
You know. It
So
could be
what
like-
if-
But you know. it's.
I think the blessing is that you have that. You feel comfortable enough where you can say, "Yo, if something happens, I can go to certain people. I have these resources available to me, and I can do whatever."
Yo, this might be random as fuck, but what if there was a hotline for dancers?
A hotline.
What if someone created a hotline for dancers that
Okay.
you can call that number anonymously and say, "Yo, this happened to me." Like,
I think that's
See,
that's
that's
something
a-
that's
something in the future.
That's
that
a great
could,
idea,
right?
right?
No, I
But
think
then,
that's something that's coming to the forefront. I was just at an event, actually in Denver Salsa Congress. They had shout out to Denver Salsa Congress. They had in the bathroom they had QR codes. So if you felt you was in trouble, all you had to do was scan that code, and someone would come and help you out.
we're working on creating.
And they had numbers. They had like
code
a
of
lot.
conduct.
I'm not saying that a hotline's out there, but something I think is changing.
Yeah.
but the
little by
question
little.
is, right? Let's assume that you're right. There is a hotline, and you call it, and you say, "Hey, either I feel uncomfortable with something, or this happened to me." Right. The next question is, in as a professional, right? In terms of what I do, when things like this get reported, the first thing I say is, "Okay, are you okay?" And then, how can I help you? What does help look like? Because that's the interesting thing about help. It looks different for everybody. It's never ever the
I mean,
same.
I can't say what help will look like because thank God, I've never been in that situation.
Yeah.
But I think help in the scene would be this person not being around the scene anymore, or how
Yes.
do we keep these type of individuals out?
How do we segregate these people that are problematic?
Yeah.
The question becomes is, what is my reasoning for segregating these people from?
Well, you as
a
a
direct-
promoter
yes.
of an event, you don't want it to spread, right?
A
Because if it
100%.
happens to one person, it's gonna definitely happen to
No,
somebody else.
I love
And-
that. But what I'm saying to you is, right, like, if I tell someone, "Yo, listen, what's going on?" And they say, "Hey, this person does this." And I say to them, "Hey, are you willing to do something about it? Willing to file a police report? You want to do this?" And they tell me, "No, I just want you to know anonymously." Yes, I don't want that person at my event. I'm going to do everything in my power not to have this person at my event. That being said, it's just Jeff and I. We're two people, and it's very difficult for us to manage an event with 2,000 people in it. And that's me being 1,000% honest with you. Like, I don't think people.
No, I've seen you guys running on no sleep. I
Yeah,
know.
like, and it's so, again, we try to do our best, like, and I think, like, we work really hard, and we're still working hard to kind of get that part of it on track with the code of conduct and making it a more availability to report things, etc. But even if it's just two of us and we're still trying to figure that out, like, we're trying to get better with it. And I know it's not going to be perfect because we have events coming up next year, and it won't be perfect yet, but we're still kind of striving towards that. But, it's hard for me to kind of comment on something when I don't really, it's like you said, right? There's two stories and then the
The
truth.
truth, yeah. And that's everything. That's everything in life. Like,
And
there's always two stories
so,
in the truth.
So I don't know. And then, like, for example, like, yo, we're not in the scene like that. Like, we're not out in the mix. Yo, listen, people have told this shit, and we're like, pfft. And they're like, well, everybody knows that. We're like, yo, we don't know that.
Yeah.
That's not like something I know.
We're
Don't
not
put that
really
on
out there
me.
either. Like, we go to Bachata socials. Like, the only socials we really go to
Yeah.
is like Colmado. We go to Solas, and we go to a new social called Dame Tu Pasito. We don't really go anywhere else.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. Imagine if those are the things you go to. Imagine the things that we go to.
Yeah.
Because like I said, when you don't see us in the mix, so we don't know what's up. We don't know what's going on. We don't know the new chincha, the new gossip. Like, we're just not involved as much as we used to be. And we haven't been for quite some time.
Yeah.
We used to go to LCL.
We used to go out.
That was a good
We
time.
used to go out 5 days a week.
Now, that being said, when we were going to LCL, that was the end. That was the only thing we would go to. And we didn't go there every week. We'd go there periodically. It was like we'd go once a month.
Yeah, no, that's after.
Eso ya fue ya
That
pa'l
was
fin.
after our
Like,
run.
we were already done. And we've been done for years now when it came to, like, going out. But, I think it's important. Listen, if something's going on, and I say this, I think you should report it. I'm a big proponent in speaking your truth and putting it out there. I think that those of you that are ready and comfortable or should go to some sort of law enforcement and report what's going on to you. That being said, I understand that not everybody's ready to do that. And I think whenever that time comes where you are ready to do that, I think that's kind of what should be done. But then again, that's also me as a man. Like, I don't know if I have any real space to comment on that.
That's the difficult part, right? Like, it's difficult for us as men to.
But
talk
men
on
also go through it. Like, it's not only women. Men also go through it too. Like, women, there's
saw
light
that
being
recently.
shed on women because women are speaking up now, right? But I'm sure there's plenty of men that have gone through some like power trip where they've been abused as well, and it has happened, but they're not speaking on it because ego, right?
Yeah.
I feel like men are more prideful than women, and
Well, I'm saying it because I'm gonna say that men go through it too, but the majority is women, right? In terms of the power dynamic in our scene, and at the end of the day, like, it's always a difficult topic to tackle because, like, I've dealt with it in my studio, right? Like, I've had women say, look, I felt uncomfortable, and I've had women say, like, look, this happened to me, and I've been like, you gotta go to the police because I'm not equipped to deal with this. So you need to go to the police, and then you go to the police, and then I'll take whatever measures I have to take.
yeah, I think a lot of people are also afraid, like that come from other countries, of going to the police because they're not sure of what's gonna happen to them.
Right.
And their status here in the country, and
I
they're
get
here
that.
to make a living and fulfill dreams that maybe they weren't fulfilling in their country.
It's unfortunate.
So it's a very touchy topic, and we have to be, I guess, sensitive to everybody's stories, right?
Right.
And understanding to everybody's path, everybody's way of healing, but get help.
Right.
Amen. And that's a perfect way to end it. Get some help. Crystal, it was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, I was
Was it
being
as bad as you
serious.
thought it
No,
was gonna
because
be?
I was like, ay, estos charlatanes, they're going to be, getting
What?
me in
Nah.
a different way. But y'all got me to be like y'all saw a different side of me, right?
Of course, I thought it was
y'all see me
fantastic.
like very playful
Nah,
and stuff like that.
We didn't want you to come over here to make you uncomfortable.
Nah,
right?
No.
And I,
With you guys, I feel like I'll never be feeling uncomfortable, right? Because I have that open communication with you guys. But I didn't know what to expect. But it's also went in a different path where I look a little more educated than
Will
y'all
you come?
thought, right?
Will you come back?
Yeah,
know what?
let's
You're
do
not
it.
as dumb
But
as I
we
thought.
we gotta get the girls on camera so we can make them uncomfortable, right?
Yeah?
That's next. That's next.
You know what? That might be the next episode.
Right,
The Melaza episode.
the Melaza Pro episode.
They could come talk shit, but they gotta compete then.
Oh, but
Yeah,
next time I come, I want Edwin to talk to me and ask me some questions.
Nah,
Porque
you
tú
don't
estás
want
muy
that.
Hey,
calladito.
that Edwin was, he was so
Edwin's a
engaged.
viper.
Listening.
I did. I was listening.
Yeah,
to you.
Edwin
Hey,
was
so
super
Edwin,
engaged.
your new
so when I
nickname is
see
There's a
Edwin,
lot-
right?
the Viper.
There's a
I
lot
see-
of things I didn't know about you.
Oh, thank you. I see
there's a
Edwin
lot
and I'm
to
like, hello, how are you? I feel like I gotta act very professional, right?
Nah, he's
Uh,
funny as shit.
No, but I
Stop
know-
it. I'm way more fun than you are. I tell you how to be fun.
But you see,
here we
Crystal,
go.
that's that etiquette.
That's that
Yeah,
etiquette.
that's
That's etiquette.
that
That's
respect.
etiquette. That's
You
like,
know,
tú
you
estás
know,
en la calle todavía.
Yo, no, you're not de la calle. No. Okay.
He's a hot girl. That's crazy.
Who said that? better
Skylar.
respect me.
Skylar.
I
Nobody
apologize to you
respects
too. Respect me.
If you're gonna respect anybody, here is me and him. You
Don't
are
res-
third.
You are third. That's
Please. I'm like a superhero.
Stop it.
I'm like a superhero.
I am.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I do for a living?
I know. You sit in the car and you text people.
That's right. You sit in the car and I actually work with kids.
Yeah, you get no respect this
Yo.
The
episode.
car
bro.
goes,
honestly,
the cars
bro,
go
no respect.
vroom, and then you go on a mission.
You know, it's so disrespectful.
Crystal, there's so much
And
more I
for
want
you,
to
for those of you
but
that wonder
gonna
what it is
say
I
it.
do
the
for a
next
living,
no, you want to keep going.
for those
I
of you
think
that
we'll keep
wonder what I do
going.
for a living, and
Do
you've
a
seen
2-hour
Batman,
episode.
Crystal, I have way much more that I want to ask you, but I'm gonna save it.
yeah, we're gonna save it when you come back.
Part 2.
Just promise you're gonna come back.
I'm gonna come back.
All right, cool. Why don't you? What's your social media?
_Cristal Amanda. CRISTALAMANDA.
No why.
Okay. What about your team?
My team is Melaza Dance.
Okay, no underscore. Dot this
underscore
time.
is dot. Mhm.
But underscore on the other one.
Another one, yes.
Interesting.
I don't know why.
What'd you
It
say?
just happened.
What's the other?
Edwin, give me your social media.
Edwin _ Tolentino.
2 underscores, ladies and gentlemen. Mine, of course, DJ YYC. Jeffrey.
Jeff Huracan Dance Company, New York Salsa Congress, and Tri-State Dance Fest.
And of course, make sure you follow our podcast on Instagram, The Scene of Ours. This has been a wonderful episode. We want to thank Crystal for being with us today.
Thank you for having
Thank you for
me.
bringing me back to Cancun. with the tequila.
Yes.
It smells like 2006. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. Till next time, peace. Kind of hoping it hits you in the head.